Welcome to Blush Haven. Today we'll explore Sandra Bullock's enchanting Georgia estate, a home that beautifully blends vintage charm with rustic elegance. From the welcoming front porch to the cozy living spaces and serene outdoor retreats, every corner tells a timeless story. Stay with us and discover every inspired detail. We begin at the front entrance, where Sandra Bullock's Georgia estate immediately welcomes with timeless southern charm. White columns frame the porch, vintage lanterns cast a soft glow, and rustic details create a graceful first impression, setting the tone for vintage beauty and rustic elegance throughout the home. Moving closer, the front door itself becomes a statement. Painted in a deep classic hue with antique brass hardware, it feels rich with history. A seasonal wreath brings rustic warmth, while planters filled with greenery add freshness, inviting guests into a home that feels timeless and welcoming. As we step onto the garden pathway, romance unfolds. Stone walkways lead through climbing roses and fragrant hydrangeas, while lanterns guide the way with vintage glow. Antique benches encourage restful pauses, blending natural southern beauty with collected charm, creating a serene journey toward the home's graceful, welcoming exterior. Around the corner, the wraparound porch embodies Southern heritage. Rocking chairs draped with quilts, wicker seating layered with cushions, and hanging ferns create a rustic retreat. Evening lanterns glow gently, inviting timeless relaxation and conversation, making the porch a cherished place for warmth, hospitality, and vintage estate elegance. 05 entering the grand foyer, vintage elegance greets us. A distressed oak console with an ornate mirror reflects soft chandelier light, while a Persian runner adds rich texture. Every detail whispers rustic sophistication, setting a graceful atmosphere that welcomes guests into the heart of this Georgia estate. '06 transitioning into the stair hall, vintage artistry shines. Wrought iron railings with delicate scrollwork pair beautifully with antique frames along the wall. Wide plankwood flooring grounds the space, while natural light from tall windows enhances rustic textures. This hall gracefully bridges the entrance with the warmth of the interior. '07 stepping into the living room, rustic elegance takes center stage. Exposed beams overhead, a stone fireplace glowing warmly, and linen slip-covered sofas invite relaxation. Vintage rugs and distressed wood tables anchor the space, creating a timeless gathering room filled with Southern comfort and refined vintage character. '08 nearby, a charming sitting nook offers intimate comfort. Tufted armchairs with soft fabrics, lace curtains filtering light, and antique side tables create a cozy retreat. With floral arrangements and vintage accents, this corner feels timelessly personal, perfectly balancing elegance and charm within the estate's welcoming atmosphere. '09 flowing into the dining room, rustic grandeur unfolds. A reclaimed farmhouse table paired with antique ladderback chairs invites elegant gatherings. Overhead, a wrought iron chandelier glows softly, while porcelain displayed in a vintage hutch enriches the scene. Here, rustic textures meet vintage sophistication in true Southern style. 10 turning toward the hutch, vintage storytelling continues. Behind glass doors, porcelain, crystal, and rustic pottery are carefully displayed, each piece rich with heritage. Antique trays and candlesticks enhance the scene, while distressed finishes give warmth. This curated display becomes both functional and decorative, echoing timeless vintage character. The kitchen reveals the heart of the home. Distressed cabinetry, a farmhouse sink, and copper pots on open shelves exude rustic practicality with elegance. A warm butcher block island stands ready for gathering, while patterned rugs add vintage texture. The space is timeless, blending beauty with functionality. Just beside, the breakfast nook glows with morning charm. A built-in bench with gingham cushions wraps around a rustic table, softened by lace curtains at the windows. A chandelier overhead completes the cozy setting, blending rustic patterns with vintage warmth in a perfect Southern-inspired morning retreat. Moving into the butler's pantry, refinement shines. Glass front cabinets showcase antique dishware, while rustic wood counters balance brass accents. Patterned tile floors add subtle charm, and soft sconces illuminate shelves of baskets and trays. This space feels intimate yet practical, blending timeless vintage character with rustic elegance. The library invites a slower pace. Floor-to-ceiling shelves filled with leather-bound books, a vintage desk bathed in natural light, and Persian rugs underfoot create sophistication. A rolling ladder adds whimsy, while rustic details enhance warmth. This room reflects Southern heritage, a sanctuary of timeless vintage refinement. 15. Transitioning into the family room. Cozy charm fills the air. Oversized sofas layered in vintage quilts, distressed trunks as tables, and exposed beams overhead create rustic comfort. Woven rugs and iron chandeliers add depth, making this room a place where timeless elegance and lived-in warmth coexist beautifully. 16. The fireplace mantle becomes a vintage focal point. Weathered wood carvings hold antique candlesticks in ceramic vases, while an ornate mirror reflects flickering light. Layered textures, from Persian rugs to brass accents, create rustic charm. This mantle embodies Southern warmth, anchoring the estate with timeless beauty and vintage sophistication. 17. Sunlight pours into the rustic sunroom. Wicker seating dressed in patterned cushions, terracotta planters filled with greenery, and a distressed wood table create harmony with the outdoors. Lanterns cast evening glow, while sheer curtains soften garden views. This room embodies serene Southern living, connecting rustic beauty with nature. 18. The primary bedroom exudes tranquility. A grand canopy bed with linen and lace bedding creates elegance, while antique dressers with brass lamps flank the space. A vintage bench and Persian rug add layers of texture. The atmosphere feels serene, a refined Southern retreat filled with rustic charm. 19. Within the vanity corner, femininity shines. An antique vanity topped with perfume bottles and silver trays sits beneath a gilded mirror. Floral wallpaper adds softness, while gentle lighting enhances the mood. This intimate corner reflects timeless vintage beauty, offering grace and refinement within the estate's elegant interiors. 20 in the guest bedroom, rustic warmth continues. An iron bed dressed with patchwork quilts welcomes, while floral wallpaper and braided rugs enhance comfort. Antique nightstands and ceramic lamps bring timeless touches. This room reflects Southern hospitality, offering vintage charm and rustic comfort for guests within the estate. "21 up in the attic hideaway, nostalgia lingers. Exposed beams and weathered trunks give character, while a small antique desk by the window invites reflection. Rugs, quilts, and vintage keepsakes add texture. This private space feels collected and timeless, offering rustic charm and serenity within the estate's heights. "22 The hallway becomes more than a passage. Antique consoles topped with ceramic lamps and gilded frames along the walls create gallery-like elegance. Runner rugs in muted tones stretch across wide plank floors, while sconces provide gentle glow. This transitional space reflects timeless refinement, uniting rustic character with graceful sophistication. "23 in the bathroom, vintage luxury shines. A clawfoot tub anchors the room, paired with floral curtains and a marble-topped vanity. Brass fixtures and a gilt mirror add elegance, while linen towels rest neatly on rustic shelves. This bathroom retreat blends functionality with timeless Southern refinement and vintage beauty. "24 stepping into the powder room, charm delights. Floral wallpaper pairs with a porcelain pedestal sink, brass fixtures gleam softly, and an antique mirror adds rustic detail. Ceramic pitchers with blooms enhance warmth, while patterned tile grounds the space. This small room captures timeless elegance in a compact sanctuary. 25. The dressing room feels refined and personal. Distressed wardrobes, a tufted velvet ottoman, and an ornate chandelier create elegance. A Persian rug softens the space, while gilded mirrors reflect warm light. Decorative hat boxes and heirloom trays complete the scene, embodying timeless Southern sophistication with vintage rustic flair. "26. Down in the wine cellar, rustic heritage glows. Stone walls hold wooden racks of bottles, while antique barrels add character. Lantern light flickers warmly across stone floors, highlighting ceramic bowls and decanters on a weathered table. This intimate cellar blends rustic charm with vintage refinement in timeless harmony." "27. The mudroom embraces practicality with charm. Distressed benches, woven baskets, and beadboard walls create rustic texture, while antique hooks line the walls. A patterned rug and framed botanicals add warmth. With lantern light above, this entry reflects the balance of function and beauty within the estate's design. "28. Even the laundry room delights with character. A farmhouse sink, sage green cabinets, and antique washboards as decor bring rustic nostalgia. Open shelves with ceramic jars, patterned rugs, and iron lighting add warmth. This room transforms utility into elegance, blending vintage charm with Southern estate sophistication seamlessly." "29. Outside, the patio welcomes relaxation. Weathered wood furniture, layered cushions, and terracotta pots frame the space, while lanterns glow softly at dusk. A rustic dining table with vintage urns anchors gatherings, creating a space where Southern hospitality shines. The patio radiates timeless charm, blending outdoor living with elegance." 30. Finally, we arrive at the garden retreat. An ornate gazebo framed by roses and hydrangeas becomes the centerpiece. Antique urns and weathered benches complete the scene, softly lit by lanterns at dusk. This outdoor sanctuary reflects vintage refinement and rustic southern grace, concluding the estate's timeless journey beautifully. Sandra Bullock's Georgia estate reminds us that true elegance lies in the harmony of vintage charm and rustic warmth. Each room carries character, comfort, and timeless beauty. If you enjoyed this tour, please like the video, subscribe to Blush Haven, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear.